And the final session of that fifth round of peace talks between Lebanon and Israel has been underway in Washington. The US Secretary of State says the two sides are close to reaching what he called a commitment of intent. Manny Rapalo is at the State Department in Washington, D.C. and joins us now live. Manny, a commitment of intent according to Marco Rubio. Does that mean Israel will withdraw?
That's the big question here, Anna, and to be honest with you, it's been kind of hard to read the room in terms of how these delegations have been feeling in what is now the fifth round of negotiations taking place here, brokered by the United States at the U.S. State Department. You mentioned what Secretary of State Marco Rubio had said earlier on the day, Thursday, seeming optimistic, saying that both sides are very close to reaching this commitment of intent that would outline what he has described as a quote-unquote promising future for both of these countries. Again, hard to read the room, hard to really gauge exactly how both sides are feeling, especially considering that on day one of this fifth round of negotiations, Israel's ambassador to the United States described the latest round of talks as a quote-unquote train wreck. And kind of contradictory language, if we had to put a word to it, based on what we're hearing in terms of diplomatic chatter here at the U.S. State Department. Despite these setbacks, a lot of what we're hearing is that there is a lot of forward momentum being had in these talks. So there's still time left, there's still several hours to go, but we're not sure whether or not we're going to see any sort of meaningful breakthrough come out of this latest round of talks.
Okay, maybe no breakthrough, but how is the concern about Hezbollah being addressed, given they are not even a party to these talks?
This has been a question since the very first round of talks earlier this year. The fact that Hezbollah is not a part of these negotiations leaves a lot of questions unanswered in terms of how any sort of framework that could result from these negotiations would be implemented on the ground. In fact, a lot of the challenges remain the same. The sticking points remain the same. Lebanon wants a full withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanese territory. Israel has said that any withdrawal would be contingent on certain security guarantees. In other words, that there would be a need for a full disarmament of Hezbollah and an assurance that Hezbollah as a group would not be able to reestablish a military presence along the Israel-Lebanese border. So, of course, what we're talking about here, what we're seeing here, is talks between Israel and Lebanon being brokered by the United States. But there is also a sense that the U.S. increasingly sees the question of Israel and Lebanon as directly linked to the broader, not only the broader picture of peace in the Middle East, but a diplomatic off-ramp and a solution to this conflict with Iran.
Manny Rapalo joining us from the State Department in Washington, D.C. Thank you.